Okay, so a few weeks ago, Toby Fox announced the 9th anniversary of Undertale. And it was disappointing. So in this video, I'm gonna be going over the entire anniversary and talking about why I think it was so disappointing. This video will be split up into two parts. The first part will be about me talking about the actual anniversary itself, and the second part will be me talking about the newsletter that went alongside it. Anyways, let's get started. Undertale anniversaries have always been known for being unique. For the 5th anniversary, we got to see orchestrated versions of all 101 songs in the game. For the 6th anniversary, we got to see some people over at Fangamer play a slightly modified version of Chapter 1, as well as the announcement of Chapter 2. For the 7th anniversary, we got the Spanted Sweepstakes, which not only gave us a crap ton of teasers at future deltarune chapters, but it also doubled as a charity event. And for the 8th anniversary, we got a lot of merchandise featured around sleeping products. So when this anniversary happened, I was thinking to myself, oh boy, what's this anniversary gonna be about?
Marketable merchandise.
Again!
Yup, the big celebration for the 9th anniversary of Undertale is a merch drop. Which is the exact same thing we got last year. The different products we got to see here were a Toriel oven mint, which isn't actually an oven mint, some plates and cups themed around certain characters in the game, and finally Sans and Papyrus salt shakers, which for some reason are releasing in 2025 despite the rest of the products releasing together. Now, there's just one question I have about all of this. Why? Why is this the route you decide to go for the 9th anniversary? Kitchen-themed merchandise? You literally gave us the exact same thing for last year's anniversary, except now it's themed around kitchen products instead of sleeping products. There are so many cooler things that you could have done instead of this. For example, what if Toby Fox were to start opening up applications for people to join the deltarune team so they could start working on the game themselves? After all, the deltarune community does have its fair share of great pixel artists, and I've also seen a lot of people say they would love to work for Toby Fox, so I don't know why this would be a problem. Or maybe you could have done something similar to the Scott Games event. After all, that whole event was dedicated to giving fan game creators money to support their games, and it also ported their fan games onto consoles. That would be amazing considering over the past couple years, Undertale and deltarune have received really high quality fan games. In fact, you know what? Screw it. If you really want to keep the theme of plushies, do something interesting with it. Why not give us plushies of the Lighteners? After all, they haven't gotten any merch up until this point. You can still keep the kitchen theme, but just maybe try to add some Lightener themed merchandise in there as well. How about instead of a Toriel oven mint, it was instead a Susie oven mint? After all, Toriel got a very similar product to this last year, so I feel like giving it to a different character would make a lot more sense. Or what about a knife with Chris's Space Sonic, given that Chris has an obsession with knives? Actually, you know what? Scrap all of that. If you're going to give us kitchen-themed merchandise, the least you could do is give us a cookbook. Give us recipes for some of the dishes that characters make throughout the game, like Toriel's butterscotch cinnamon pie, Papyrus's spaghetti, Ralsei's cauldron cake, whatever you want to call it. And also, one last thing, why are the Sans and Papyrus Salt Shakers releasing in 2025? No, really, why? They look just as complete as all the other products, and every other product is releasing together, so why are these ones specifically releasing in 2025? Look, I know I'm exaggerating a bit here, but you have to understand just how disappointing this is. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything major like a trailer or something, but I still wanted something a little more than merchandise again. Let's move on. Hopefully the newsletter will be better. The newsletter begins with Toby Fox saying how grateful he is for the community keeping the game alive for 9 years. Next we got this whole skit with Sans about the number 9, and while I do think it's funny, I don't think it's interesting enough for me to talk about in this video. But if you do want to read it for yourself, I'll leave a link for the newsletter in the description. Then Toby Fox talks about all the products from the 9th anniversary video, which I already talked about. And now we get to the deltarune progress update. Also real quick, I know this literally doesn't matter at all, but Toby Fox said he wrote this on September 3rd, which is actually my birthday. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, Toby Fox actually did give us 3 new teasers for chapters 3, 4, and 5, with 1 teaser for each chapter. For Chapter 3, we see Chris and Susie standing over a bridge. For Chapter 4, we see Noelle shining a flashlight on her face. And for Chapter 5, we got a balloon. Cool. However, I can't be the only one who thinks this is a subpar amount of teasers. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm glad we got teasers at all. It's just, you have to understand just how long it's been since we last got any teasers. The last time we got to see any teasers about this game was back in the Spanted Sweepstakes in 2022. Yes, we did get that sneaking segment in the Summer 2023 newsletter, but Toby Fox said that that segment was going to be scrapped. The concept art from the Winter 2024 newsletter looked interesting, but we already knew the Dark World was going to be television themed, so that didn't really change anything. And the cup guy from the Spring 2024 newsletter? It's just a damn cup. Also, I already know someone's gonna mention this in the comments, but yes, the cup guy actually did make a return in this newsletter. Now for the actual progress update, Toby Fox said that all translations of the game's text will be finished by the beginning of October, and official PC testing will begin in the middle of October. And oh boy, I already know every single Undertale and deltarune YouTuber saw that and went, oh my gosh guys, Toby Fox said that Japanese translations of the game will be done in October and also PC testing will begin in October. This means we're getting deltarune this year, oh my god! No! It's not releasing this year. Look, I get it. It's been 3 years since chapters 3 and 4 came out and you're all really excited to get it. But you have to understand that game development is a very difficult process that has a lot of stages. And also, Toby Fox said he's only starting PC testing in October. He still has to do testing for all the console versions, which each have their own CPUs and processors. Next, Toby Fox talked about how Chapter 4's development was going really smoothly. There's nothing really interesting for me to talk about here. Toby Fox then goes on to say that anyone who's not working on testing or localization is working on Chapter 5. Interestingly, Toby Fox says that he's really excited for this chapter in particular to get made. After this, Toby Fox actually gives us some unused concept art and music for Chapter 2, and again, I don't think it's interesting enough for me to talk about in this video, so you can just look at it by clicking the newsletter linked in the description. And as for one last thing, Toby Fox gave us a letter written by Azriel talking about Kara. I really like this letter because not only does it lay waste to all those people that say, oh, Kara's pure evil, but it's also just really nice that Toby Fox is still giving us little bits of Undertale lore even 9 years later. And that was Undertale's 9th anniversary. I think now you can see what I meant by when I said this anniversary was disappointing. So let's give a final ranking to see just how disappointing this anniversary truly was. For the anniversary itself, aka all the merchandise, we got 1 out of 10. It really does feel like Toby Fox could have done so many more interesting things with this anniversary, but he chose not to. Not only that, but the things he did decide to do were questionable at best. As for the newsletter, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. While I'm glad we did get any teasers at all, it really is disappointing considering, like I said, it's been 2 years since we got any teasers for deltarune chapters 3 and 4. So overall, I would have to give this entire anniversary a 4 out of 10. This anniversary could have been something so much better, but it chose not to. These last two anniversaries have me really concerned for what the 10-year anniversary of Undertale is gonna be like. After all, 10 years is a major milestone and it should be celebrated with something special, not another merch drop. Anyways, that's pretty much all I gotta say. This is Flying Eagle, signing off.